Well, here we are, another day, another walk. I'm not walking now because we finished the walk earlier on. Actually, what I've just done with 5 of the other guys is that we've just done been into a hammam, which is like a wash house, because a lot of these communities haven't got proper washing facilities. So they have a communal wash house which they go to maybe once a week, maybe more, depending on what they can afford, I suppose. And they have like it's a steam, like a mini sauna. Then you get oiled up and you get scrubbed down and all this sort of stuff. Obviously the men are treated by men, the women are treated by women, and it's great actually. I feel a lot cleaner than what I did earlier on, and probably a couple of layers of skin lighter as well, but that's great. And it only cost a couple of £3 or something like that. But another interesting day actually, and that's one of those things that's part of the trip. Just to let you know, I'm actually, I think I mentioned it before, I'm with a company called Exodus, and the trip, if anyone's interested, because it's very good, I can certainly recommend it. It's called Atlas Panorama. Obviously the idea being that you see a bit of everything. But up here, I mean, we've all said this, being in these surroundings, the snow is still here. I'll take you around the corner in a second and show you, but it's so quiet up here. The only sounds are natural sounds, apart from the call to prayer, which there are several mosques around in the little villages that make up this sort of community, and you get the call to prayer first thing in the morning about 6:45, and it rings around the mountains and the hills. And so if I come up here, where I am, I've got one of these sort of riads or buildings, and I come around, you can see a lot of the snow is now gone. It's melted. So we've been really lucky actually. I've mentioned this before about the weather, but because of the way that the things have happened, that walks have worked perfectly. The first day was really in that thick snow, as I mentioned before. Yesterday a bit of a mixture, and once again today we've been up. Actually, the hill behind you, that's here, this hill that's up here, it goes up a bit higher. If I come down, I might be able to show you actually. And we've been up behind that and actually scrambled down. Oh, actually might be able to point it out to you. If I come around here, and if I come in, you can see this little building there. Well, we've been up round the back of that, above that, and we scrambled down the hill to here. That's a water tower, and it's quite interesting, shall we say. But once again, I think we only did about 5 miles today, but it may only be 5 miles, but it's a lot we climbed actually the highest that we've been today. I think we were at 2,600 meters or something like that today, which works out at about 7,500 feet in our currency, if you want to put it that way. So we've done quite a lot of climbing, a lot of coming down as well. But I say a really good area. It's so quiet. There's no car. There aren't actually any vehicles around here at all. There's some children, as you can see. There's lots of kids playing around, and actually they're going to be presenting something to the kids in the thing in a minute. Actually, bonjour. And they all speak French, you see. Pretty good. It must be hard because I have to learn about 3 different languages, as I mentioned yesterday. But I say the stillness is something that's really got to us all here. It's been so good that we're all sort of not concerned, but wondering what it's going to be like going back to Marrakesh and the hustle and bustle. As nice as Marrakesh is, this for me has been the highlight of the trip. I know we've got another day or so there, because it's been really good, and a nice group of people. There's 14 of us, and out there all experiencing different things, highs and lows, because it's been a bit tough for some of us on some of the particular trips, because all the bits and pieces, I say all the climbs, and in the snow. Once again today there was some really deep snow in some places, and because the snow's melted, there's mud in places as well, and other places just dry so quickly. It's really nice underfoot. And there's all the trees. I'll just say behind me there's prickly pears, and we've had almonds blossom, and actually there's some almond blossom right there, but you might not be able to see it because of the sun. Can you see it just over here? Looks really nice actually. And once again walking through the hills today and getting the wafts of the wild thyme as well. So there we are from here. Lovely. I would certainly recommend this trip. As I said, I keep going on about it, but we have been very lucky. Everybody has said exactly the same. We've seen it in lots of different ways, because if I look behind me, once again it's in the sun, but down here this is sort of area that we couldn't see the other day because it was covered in that thick snow, and it's all the terraced fields where they grow wheat and barley in this area, because it's very much an agricultural area. I think Mohammed, our main guide, said that the main export, or the main sort of part of the economy here, is agriculture. Third is tourism. I've forgotten what the second one was. I think it was mining, something like that. So it shows you how much it's still an agricultural society, and especially in an area like this. This is very rural. We were talking earlier, as I said, no motorised vehicles, no machinery of any type up here. and it's really been sort of one of those things going back in time in some ways. I say completely away from phones, from Wi-Fi, from the internet and all that type of thing. It's been really, really good and quite refreshing in lots of ways, and I think we've all appreciated it actually. And as I said, going back with a certain amount of trepidation to Marrakesh tomorrow, and then we're back home on Sunday. Anyway, I'll leave you there with that lovely little view there. And this is what we've been waking up to and walking in. We've walked around all these hills around here over the last couple of days, so it's been really good. And hopefully I shall speak to you from Marrakesh tomorrow, inshallah.